Greetings, I'm Barrington. Welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to be doing our actual first showdown. We're going to take on a Crimson Crocodile, and he is going to be level 1 because I don't want to take on a level 2. He'd probably wreck me really badly. So we're going to take a level 1 Crocodile on. We have our survivors all here on the board. We're going to go through a quick little setup on how I'm going to get to where we are in the area right here, and we're going to talk about a few things that I did wrong first before we go in this setup. The first thing is when you do create a settlement, you should have one survival limit, and I didn't do it like that. So we should actually have a survival limit of 3. We got 2 from our innovations. It was Hovel and we have language. So those 2 added to the one you start with should be 3. So when he did his first consume, he should have had the 3 survival instead of 1. On top of that, it was noticed, thank you very much for all the comments. It helps me so much making sure we can keep on the right track here, that for our departure here and everything, our hunger, we should have another hunger or crossed off because he consumed the water. It was in red, so that means that he's, or not red, bold, so I believe that still counts as a consume, so we are 1 away from that. Also, when we depart, I should have had a survival token here for Iguana. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that's the token, but that's what we're going to use for now. I could be wrong. I couldn't find a picture of the survival token. If that's wrong, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll switch out the tokens for the next time we do one, but for now, we're just going to use this as our survival token, which then I can spend at any time to gain a survival. And we have 2 right now. Remember, our survival limit is 3. I almost might spend this right away because every time we spend it, we're able to gain one of our ranks of tenacity. So that could be something we might want to do right away. Now let's get to setting up the board. We do have our blood pool down here, which is something we might want to take advantage of, because remember, I can, what is this, drink from the pool and roll a d10. So it doesn't say anything about consuming here, so sadly this isn't going to help our hunger at all, which is too bad. I was really hoping it would, but that's okay. You can gain some of this stuff if you want to, The other thing we have to put out is it does say that when you fight the Crimson Crocodile, the terrain you're supposed to use is a survivor corpse, and down here it tells you where to place it. Set it up at least 6 spaces from all other terrain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to put it right back here. And you're going to notice a character down over here that's not one. It's almost like that song, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. That's this one. This is going to be our scout. Our scout does have to be on the board with us, but I don't have the scout miniature built yet. I'm hoping to do that over this coming week. So we have our normal survivors here, but this is our scout survivor right back there. And that's why I'm going to put that card over there, because I'm really hoping this character doesn't have to fight. I'm hoping to just keep this character out of the battle, and hopefully things go well enough that these 4 can take it down as well. On top of that, we do get 1 random piece of terrain, so we're going to give this terrain deck a quick little truffle shuffle here, and we're going to draw the top card and see what we have. We also have some tall grass. We get 2 of these. This is a really good one for us. Survivors in the space occupied by tall grass gain +2 evasion. And as an action, if you're standing in a space occupied by tall grass, you disappear into it. You have if you have the priority target token, remove it. You are not a threat until you attack or move out of the space occupied by tall grass. Now, the good thing is I normally just use this for the +2 evasion. This other part's something that might not help us too much, unless, of course, our scout gets it, because we don't want our scout to die. I like our scout. Our scout's good stuff. It does say here, set up at least 4 spaces away from all other tall grass. Our 2 tall grass pieces, one is going to go right here, and the other one is going to go up here where she is to try to help keep her in the tall grass as well. I think we'll put it just like that. And that's going to be our best bet there. Now, of course, it has to be placed away from each other. And this, I think, is going to be a really good one because this is going to be who I want him to target at the beginning. So she'll gain the +2 evasion. And remember, that is going to be Iguana. So she's down here with all that leather gear. We also have our 2 characters right here. Perrin is going to be this one. He's got a giant club right now, but I haven't had a chance to make up the miniature for that yet. We'll see as we go through maybe a couple more fights. Then I'll maybe build some miniatures that really encapsulate what our characters are going to be looking like. Then we have Elaine. She's going to be this character over here, and our final one is Rand. Rand is right here. And I do want to mention that Elaine sadly is going to start terrified, and I'll show you why in just a second. But it says here, ignore any bonuses to brain trauma rolls. You are guardless. Guardless is I cannot ignore hits, which is absolutely terrible. We do not want her to be the target here. If you have at least 1 insanity, you can take a moment to collect yourself, spend an action to archive this card. So our goal is to give her insanity. And I sadly don't have any way to do it, but we'll see. Maybe we can find a way. That's all I have, I think, for this. The other thing I do need to do is when we departed, some of our gear gives us survival. So Iguina does get +1 survival. So Iguina, instead of being able to spend that token, is going to be gaining 3 survival right off the bat. So she is ready to start this fight at full power. With that completed, let's go build up our crocodile. When kitting out our giant crocodile's hit location deck, you just use them all. We've mixed them all up. They're all set to go. I'll give them one more final little truffle shuffle here so they're ready to go. And then we'll put them right down here. The next thing we have to do is build up our AI deck. Our AI deck is right here. It's going to be a level 1 crocodile, so I need 7 basic, 3 advanced. Now this crocodile will move 6. It has a 7 toughness, and it starts with these particular cards in play: Immortal Presence, Enchanted Flesh, and its Adrenaline Adept. Those are going to be ready to go. So we're going to grab 7 basic, and there's 3 different types of cards. There's basic, advanced, and legendary. We're not going to be using any of the legendary ones. Those are going to be more powerful versions of this crocodile. We're going to shuffle up our basic one. We're going to grab out 7 of these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are all set to go. Then we're going to grab, what would I say again? 3 advanced cards. We're going to take these cards, shuffle them up a little bit, and we're going to grab 3 of these. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So that is going to be the AI deck. I'm going to take all of these cards, shuffle them together. We're going to place them out on the board. Let me just make sure I've got them all facing the right direction. I do. So we're going to give all of these a truffle shuffle here so that they're all set to go. And hopefully we can get rid of all those advanced cards and I don't have to worry about any kind of death or destruction coming towards my characters. Of course, this is Kingdom Death, so I'm banking on death and destruction more than anything else. With the decks ready to go, of course, it's Kingdom Death Monster, so our monster is going to activate first. We'll draw our first card and see what we have found. 21,000 Newton Bite. Threat, the most tokens in range. Closest survival, no target. We are going to do Finger Strum. Well, that's absolutely hilarious because this character does have a token. As far as I understand, that is a survival token, so our target is exactly who we want it to be, Iguina, and he is going to then move and synchronic attack. He is going to attack those 6 squares in front of him with level 2 or speed 2, 3 accuracy, and it does 21 damage. But of course, before damage, I think we've seen this card before. Before damage, it does say down here, if you are terrified or deaf, you cannot avoid this attack. Otherwise, you hear the zealot's finger strumming and escape the bite full power. Reduce the damage of this attack profile to 1. Tokens modify this as usual. So of course, it's going to only have 1 damage. It is going to have a speed of 2 and needs a 3+2 attack. Now, before we move our crocodile, there are a few cards in play, and one of them is this one. This is the one, why I got the Terrified card. Unless I did this wrong, please let me know in the comments below. Immortal Presence states that hypnotized by fidgeting spine fingers, your body's fear response escalates. When a survivor has 0 insanity, they gain Terrified survivor status card. So that is why she's terrified. She has no insanity, so she is going to be terrified. Everybody else we have has at least 1 insanity, which is fantastic. So I only have 1 person that, remember, if this would have hit that person would be attacked for 21 points of damage, which is just out of control bonkers. The other one we have in play is this Adrenaline Adept. This is the same one we had from our last fight. The monster disrupts your blood flow, preventing your body from coping with stress. When you would gain insanity from a brain trauma, your body shudders in pain instead. Suffer 1 damage to a random hit location. We have that in play, as well as our Enchanted Flesh, which I'm also going to try to do correctly this time. This is the location decks that we might have to hit. It says when the monster is wounded, its blood hardens into translucent scabs that sparkle as it moves. During the Showdown setup, shuffle the coagulated hit location and place this card on top of it. When instructed to draw a coagulated hit location, draw from the bottom of the stack face down. So we do have that going as well. I've already shuffled this deck up and we're ready to go. Let's move that monster and do its attack. I am not afraid of the crocodiles coming at me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I probably should be. And it's going to attack all 6 squares right here. The only one that's going to hit is her, and she does get +2 evasion being in that grass. So instead of needing a 3+, he's going to need a 5+ in order to hit me. We'll roll up his attack dice and see how he does. He got a 6 and a 5. Now remember, he needed a 5+ in order to hit. But there is one more sneaky thing I've got going on. Because I have both of these 2 connected by other blue and red, I'm able to gain +1 evasion. So I actually have +3 evasion. So he needs a 6+ in order to hit. So this 5+ did not hit. Let's see where he hits me. He hit me in the hand. No, he didn't. I am going to use a survival to dodge that. And then if I do, I get to use my rawhide leather armor set, and if I roll a 6+, I gain my survival back. I got a 4, I did not gain my survival back, but that's okay. I'm gonna spend that token, which does give me my first tenacity mark on my sheet. So actually that was a fantastic turn for me. I got hit a little bit, but not enough to really make it hurt at all, and I have still the same amount of survival, and I was able to upgrade my tenacity. The monster having gone gives us the ability to now go. When we know what this guy does, he likes to wiggle all around here and roll this way and that way, so I don't want to be anywhere near that. So we're going to move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to right here. So he's in the blind spot. He'll get an additional +1 to attack, and we'll see if we can hit with our founding stone. Rand needs a 6+ with his founding stone, normally a 7, but we are in the blind spot. Oh, he got a 1 and a 2. That's no good. He failed. Having Rand fail, not the end of the world, we're going to move Perrin in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. He's going to attack again in the blind spot with his giant Crockborn hammer. This hammer has a speed of 2, and it needs a 7+ to hit. Let's see if we do it. We actually need a 6+. We got 2 hits. We'll take 2 hits. I like 2 hits. So the first one we have is the bushling shrubby knee, and then we have the bushling foot knuckle. All right, both of these are going to be vasodilating. They both have a failure where this thing's going to move around. Okay, let's just wound this thing and not have it happen. So our first attempt to wound is going to be a 5. We do get to add our strength of our weapon, which is +2. So that's a 7. That is his toughness. He is going to take 1 wound. I'm going to remove this from the AI stack. Next, we have to archive this card and replace it with one of the ones from here. So put that right up on top of the deck. So now we have to hit him from the side. But we're not done. I do get to do my other attack against this one. Let's see how that goes. Oh, that's going to be a failure. So if we look at the card, it does say, well, first let's read it. It does say that the monster rolls without turning. Move the monster to the left. On collision, survivors suffer damage equal to the monster level +1, and this is the way it's going to move. Now that would look like that, but he's facing this way, so this, from what I understand, is where he is. Then he's going to skip these 3 spaces. Last time I did this, I had him stop in those spaces, and that, from what I understand, is wrong. He's kind of supposed to do this type of deal where he kind of rolls and then ends up over here, is from how I understand how that works, which isn't a bad thing because we're right in the exact spot that person can attack now, which is going to be fantastic. Except that she has to hit this spot right here, which, if we look at the card, is going to be right here. So she has to come to this specific spot right there in order to hit it, which isn't the best because now she's in Rollyville, but hopefully that doesn't happen. She does have her founding stone, so she needs a 7+, but she has 2 attacks. Hopefully she can hit with at least one of those. Oh, I hit with both of them. All right, that's fantastic. So we're going to take 2 hit location cards. Of course, one of them we know is that one, but this one is going to be the Pale Cochlea. You strike the monster's multi-purpose. Oh, we've done this one before. We're going to wound that because there's nothing that has to do with it. Now, of course, this is the other one. It says unless you're in this exact position, you're automatically going to fail the hit. And here's what the failure is. The monster, hisses, fingers drumming rapidly, performing basic attack targeting you. All right. Otherwise, I get to, if I hit it, that's awesome, or I can get a critical. Let's first do this one. This one's gonna be awesome. Let's hit this first. I need to get, I need to get more than that. I only get +1 strength. Remember, this has a 7 defense, so that's one failed. I failed to hit that one. That's too bad. That'd have been fun. Now we're gonna try to see if we can hit the Sparkling Claw. Then I got a 9. That's fantastic. Now, sadly, I don't have any luck, so I don't get any bonuses, but I did get a 9, so that does mean that I hit. And I was able to do 1 damage, so that's fantastic. All right, from what I understand, this would go here, and I will remove another hit off the hit location deck. Or sorry, the AI deck. I only have a few more people left to go, and one of them is Gwen. She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then she's going to spend 1 of her survival to dash, and I'm going to roll to see if I get that back. I do get the survival back, so I don't have to spend it. I don't have to change it on my sheet. I still have 3 survival. My dash ability allows me to move 1, or take a move action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's going to get back here, and she's going to hit that thing in the back. And we'll be using our founding stone. I need to get a 7+. I got 1 perfect hit. Does that help her? Yes, it does. On her Desperate Strike right here, she needs to get on a perfect hit. I gain +1, and that's enough to move to the next section. I now have Desperate Strike 2 that states your desperation becomes your strength. On a perfect hit, I get +2 strength until the end of the attack. Now, of course, that won't be used for this particular attack, but I am now going to change all of this so that this is now our new knowledge. We only hit with one attack, so we're going to see what our thing is here. We've got our, this blushering, whistling back. All right, let's make sure that doesn't fail in this one. We got a 7 + 1 is 8, so we did wound it. I will take a wound off the stack, and I'll place it into the wound stack. And let's see here, there is a reaction for the wound. It's the coagulation. So I'm going to put the coagulated thing on the top of the deck, and I am going to remove this from the game, or from the, I archive this card. We'll take our next card, place it right up on top of there, and now I have to hit it in the face. There's only one person left, and that is our, our scout. Our scout is going to use its action to check the survivor corpse. Let's see what she found. She got an 8+. We'll check out what it says here. An 8+, gain 3 insanity, and a skull basic resource. Archive this terrain. Oh, I'm getting lots of skulls. I love it. Okay. We're also going to give that insanity to somebody, which is going to be exactly what I need. First thing we're going to gain is 3 survival. So she now has 4 survival up here. And then I get a skull basic resource, which says when you gain this, a survivor of my choice gains +1 insanity. And that is going to be Elaine, because she has 0 right now. So she needs 1. So she does now have 1. So on her next turn, or if I would have had the ability to gain Surge, I could have performed this. I need to, if I have at least 1 insanity, you can take a moment to collect yourself, spend an action to archive this card. So if I was smart enough, I would have activated our scout first, and of course not knowing I was going to get the skull resource, but then I could have used the action for her to get rid of this. Now she has 1 insanity. Now I could use the scout to attack, but I think where she is exactly where I want her. I'm not going to move her in case the thing does target her. She does have the 2 evasion inside of that grass. We've done some damage to this crocodile. Let's see what he's going to do to me. This one says whipping and slamming. It says repeat card. When this card is resolved, place it back on top of the AI deck face up. While face up, ignore effects that manipulate the AI deck. Place a token on this card and target the closest survivor. Move and synchronic attack. It is going to attempt to attack this red spot, and then it's going to attack everything else in there. So I am going to have it target Igwen. Again, that's my plan. And then it's going to do all of this. Now, after damage, it's going to give 1 bleed and knock back 5. So I've got a plan to deal with all of this. Let's go to the board. Here's what we're going to do. I am going to perform the dash action with Elaine. She's got 2 survival, so that's going to bring her down to 1. And she can dash, and there are survival opportunities on this card. For those of you that have not played or understand how that works, here's the way it works. The first thing it's going to do is this. Then it's going to place the token on the card and target the closest survivor. The 2 closest survivors are these 2. I'm going to have it target that one. That is my plan. And I am going to then after that, it is going to move and synchronic attack. So it's chosen its target. And at this point, I can choose to use survival. This is where the survival opportunity comes in. So I am going to dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over to the blood pool with her so she can be away from this monster and hopefully spend that action again to get rid of that terrified. At this point, it is going to now move and attack, and its position it's attempting to attack is right there, and it wants to be completely directly behind it, and then its synchronic attack is going to attack all of these squares around it up to this point over here. Now, that means only 1 person is being hit because nobody else is in way of that. Now, it does have 1 speed, so it's only going to attack once. It has a 3+, and it's going to do 1 damage, which causes a bleed token and knock back 5 if I decide to let it do that. So it does need a 3+ to hit, and there also says here that it is going to, like I said, move to the right spot. This attack gains +1 speed and +1 damage for each token on it. Nobody has any tokens on them, so none of that is going to take place. We'll roll up our attack and see what we get. We did get a 3+, so that does hit me, except for, haha, sorry, Mr. Crocodile. Remember, I have +1 evasion, so he needed a 4+ in order to hit me. So this attack completely misses, but this does go on top of the deck, and it's going to start gaining tokens, which which means it's going to start gaining more speed and more damage unless I can do damage to this monster to get that off. That, of course, is the only way to really get one of those cards off the top of these decks. That is what repeat does. It can get pretty brutal. So we'll place this right up here, and when this part of the card activates next time, it'll say place a token on this card and target the closest survivor. So we want to get this off of this deck. Now remember, I do have an ability that can manipulate the AI here. It says reveal the top 2 AI, put them back in the deck on any order you want. I cannot use that on that particular card. That is not able to be used to get rid of these repeat cards. Before we do anything absolutely crazy, I'm going to spend my action to get rid of this card off of that character right there. It then has a move action. I'm just going to move it up 1 just in case, and that's as far as I'm going to do anything with her. Next, I'm going to move her 1 space this way. Oh, I have to hit the thing in the front because I have this going on right there. So to hit that particular spot, I have to dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do my move 1, 2, 3, and then we're in the exact position we need to be in order to hit that event card. The first thing we need to do is see if I get my survival back. I did. I don't use any survival. I am at 3 survival still. Wow, I'm getting super lucky on that. Now we're going to grab our weapon here. We're going to use our founding stone. I need a 7+, and I really only want to hit once. Oh no, I hit twice. Well, actually, I think I can hit twice. That'll be okay. And look at that. I got another perfect hit, which means that I'm able to use my Desperate Strike 2. I'm going to fill in one of the boxes on that. And for this attack, I get +2 strength, so I have actually +3 strength. So we have this card that we hit, which is super good because it's right in front. And then we have this card that we have to hit as well. This is a parry card. It says Glossy Tongue. Let's see what it says here. The monster turns to face you and deftly swats away your attack with its tongue. If attacking with a melee weapon, you are disarmed. Oh, extremely impressed. Gaining +1 survival and sanity. I don't want any of that. I want to make sure I hit this. Okay. And then the other one is this card right here. If I did not target this, it would be an automatic failure. If adjacent to the monster, it turns to face you and skewers your eyeball with its tongue, suffer the blind, severe head injury. The monster places it in an empty side socket. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Connecting you forever. Swap all your attribute tokens with the monster, discarding any toughness tokens, converting damage to strength, and vice versa. Oh my gosh, all right, let's not have any of that happen. Okay, we got to hit all these things. I think we're going to hit this first because that sounds, well, they both sound absolutely, nope, they both sound terrible. I'm going to hit this one first in case it makes, I don't want the, oh boy, this is all bad. I'm going to hit the first one first. I got a 9 + 3 is 12. Boom. That one hit. I did do 1 damage, so that does remove this from the top of the deck and goes into the wound stack. And that was this one right here. Oofta. That was, I didn't want to go blind. All right, let's continue. Now let's see if we can get this Glossy Tongue, or I'm going to lose my weapon. Let's see how this goes. I got a 3 + 3 is 6, so I lost my weapon. All right, it says right here, I am disarmed, and I gain a survival and an insanity. It says this attack ends. Place the disarm tile on the attacking weapon and matching tile 5 spaces away from you. You must move over the tile to pick it up, but before activating that weapon again, ignore it and use Fist and Tooth. So I could just leave it there and use Fist and Tooth the rest of the time if I want. So here's what's going to happen. I am going to have my weapon disarmed 5 spaces away. So I'm going to take my disarm token. I believe that's what this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It didn't really say which direction to throw it, but I think I'm going to throw it in the tall grass. I'm going to go over there and grab it. And then on the founding stone on her card, I'm going to place this token as well so that I have the ability to know which one is being thrown around, because that could happen more than once. Now, of course, I do gain +1 sanity and +1 survival. Sadly, she is already at full survival, but she does gain 1 insanity, so I will give her 3 insanity. Rand and Perrin are the only 2 that haven't gone. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's in the blind spot, and I can go ahead and attack with my founding stone. I'm going to need a 7+ in order to hit any of these locations. I got 2. I got a perfect hit and another 7. That's awesome. Let's see what locations we were able to hit on this vile crocodile here. The first one is a reflex. It's going to start rolling around. The second one is its juicy jowls. Okay, there's no problems if I hit this first, so we're going to attack that one first. It says laughing and it's sticky. The aerobic smell of the monster's breath burns your nostrils. Lashing, sorry, and sticky. Oh, yeah, okay. We're gonna roll this die. Let's hit this thing. Let's see how we do. We got a critical hit on that. That's amazing. Let's see what it says here. It says critical wound. The strike mutilates the monster's molars, gagging on tooth shards. It spits and coughs up terrible lump that rolls over you. Gain 1 random monster resource, and then persistent injury, cracked molar. This may affect some AI cards. I'll place this right here, and we're going to grab our monster resource deck and give it a good old truffle shuffle here and see what came out of its cracked molar. We got ourselves some pale fingers, and we'll give those to our character. Now, of course, it doesn't matter who has these, but I do like to just kind of see who gets things at the end. So Rand has that. We do have one more wound we have to attempt to hit, and we got ourselves a 9 plus 1 is 10. So we did wound this one as well, but it is a reflex, so it's always going to happen, and it's super dense, which means I can't do any damage to it. I did do this wrong the first time we played it because I did find a super dense location that had a critical, and I gave myself 1 wound to that critical, and I shouldn't have, because a super dense location, from what I understand, can never really do any wounds to the monster. So this is still going to happen. This reflex states, the monster's rolls without turning. Full move the monster in the right. On collision, I'm going to take damage equal to monster level plus 1. And then while rolling, the monster's back fingers open as it shuffles stone faces onto its back. The 99 finger spine hit location is if it's in the discard pile or in play. Persistent injury, unresolved hit location, place it on top of the hit location deck. Okay, that's not, I don't think that's been hit yet. It has not been hit, so we'll just place it in the hit location discard pile. All right, the thing said it best when he said, it's clobbering time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna move this guy over here and hit him with the giant crockbone hammer. This crockbone hammer does need a 7+, but I'm in the blind spot, so I need a 6+. And we got ourselves, oh wow, look at that, another perfect hit and a 9. So we hit 2 different locations. Now, I don't think a perfect hit helps him in any way, but I'll still grab 2 hit locations, and hopefully they are fantastic. Our first one is going to be the pale fin base, and the second one is going to be our fleshy body. Let's see here. This has a failure and a critical on it, and this one just has a straight reflex. It says here, the monster flips upside down and glides on its wiggling fingers. Move 2 spaces forward, then cranes its neck to wink at the attacker. They suffer brain damage equal to its value plus 1, or the monster level plus 1. So that's going to happen. So if it moves out of range, I'm not going to be able to hit it. So let's go for this one first. Let's just make sure this failure isn't terrible. The monster's lower jaw drops open, its long tongue undulating hypnotically. Turn the monster to face the attacker and move 3 spaces back. The attacker suffers the flea brain trauma injury. They're immortal. They suffer the frenzy brain trauma. Okay, both of these are terrible. I don't want either of these to happen. I think I'm going to go with this one. The brain damage might be better for me. Actually, no, this is going to be horrible. He only has 1 insanity. That's bad news. I'm going to do this one. Hopefully let's critical this. Let's hit it. Let's hit this thing, and then I don't have to worry about failing at all. I got a 3, so that's a giant failure. Barf. So we're going to have to deal with all of this. The first thing our card states is that the monster draw opens, and it does a whole bunch of things. It's going to turn the monster to face the attacker, which is going to be over here. Then it's going to move 3 spaces back. So hitting her is going to cause collision, knocking her back over to here and knocking her down. And then it's going to continue going to 3, which now she's getting smashed again. And I think at this point, I can choose which direction I want her to slide across the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that is the best way to go. And then at this point, it is now going to give the flea brain trauma to this character right here, which means he will turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and move 5 spaces off the board. Or I shouldn't say off the board, but back that way towards the edge of the board. Now, Flea actually does push you towards the closest board edge, which is not that way. It's going to be this way, which means I'm going to get knocked into him, and these two are both going to get knocked down because they ran into each other. So we're in Knockdown City again. This is awesome. I could use some survival to encourage a few people if I wish to, but I don't even know what the next AI card is. Maybe it wouldn't be a good thing. So, with that completed, I am going to have to deal with this. It is his Adrenaline Adept. It says when you would gain insanity from a brain trauma, your body shudders in pain. Instead, suffer 1 damage to a random hit location. So I do have to do that because I'm supposed to get D5 insanity. So instead of getting D5 insanity, I'm going to take a wound to my chest. The chest being the most favored place to get hit, apparently, means he has now taken a heavy wound to it. I could do that encourage action. I do have my scout just right over here here. She could use a survival to encourage, or even she could as well, but I think we're going to stick with what we have here. Let's see what the monster does, and maybe encouraging next might be the best thing to do so we can get some of these people up to attack depending on where this thing ends up. At this point, we'll draw our next AI card. Hopefully it says something about how it just stands there and does nothing. That would be awesome. Let's see. It has Mocking Bite. It's going to go for the closest threat facing in range, then the closest survivor. It's going to move and attack. It has a 2 speed plus 3 accuracy. After damage, the monster monster chortles with you in its mouth. Okay, gain the Terrified Survivor status card. If you already have it, you are knocked down. Oh, that's absolutely terrible. Oh, wait, what's it got down here? Lost Humor. No, that's not going to happen. It's only lost its molar, so it's still going to attack. Closest threat in range is her. That's the deal right here. So I am going to move this guy. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Run into those guys. They're going to go knock back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how far does this guy move? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Turn and attack. Now, I could have maneuvered it so it went this way, but in theory, you're supposed to do the most unadvantageous thing for you. So knocking those guys farther back is probably worse for them. This attack has 2 speed and a 3 accuracy, so this is probably Bad Nude City. Well, we were already getting hit once, and we hit twice. We got hit twice. Now, they're only going to do 1 damage, which is fantastic. Let's see where it hits us. It hits us in the head and the waist. We're definitely going to take the waist shot because I do have armor there, but the headshot, I'm probably going to dodge with my survival. Yes, I do not want to get hit in the head. We're going to use our survival for that, bringing our survival value down to 1, and I am going to remove 1 from my waist. I am going to take the damage there, and I get to gain... She is also terrified yet again, which is absolutely fantastic. So on her turn, she's probably just going to get rid of that again. The monster's done. It is time for us to do something. Let's see what we can do this thing. We are going to... I guess we are going to have to, well, the first thing I need to do is I need to use my action to get rid of my Terrified card. So we're going to do that. That's my action for my movement. I might just stay there. If I need to do something, I could dash. I do have 1 survival left. Now, the thing is with the other characters, though, I need to try to get them up. So the scout is going to use 1 of their survival, bringing her survival value to 1, from, if I remember right, to be able to get this guy up. We want this guy up. That's the deal. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's pretty close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can get right here into the blind spot. And from there, I know he's behind the super cool orange radiant fish tail, which is pretty awesome. He's going to use his croc bone hammer and try to hit this guy. But before he does, he is also going to use 1 survival. He's going to go down to 2 to be able to use his encourage action, since none of my characters are deaf, to stand this character up right here. And the reason I'm doing it before my attack is in case something happens where he gets knocked down again, he wouldn't be able to encourage or anything, or something, maybe he dies. I wouldn't want that to happen until after I make my attack. But I think that's what I'm going to do. So before I do my movement and action, I'm going to encourage him to stand up, then move in and attack. Our Crockbone Hammer does have a 7, so I need to get at least a 6+. I hit once with this 8 right here. The 1 does not hit, so we'll check out which hit location we hit. We haven't found the trap yet. I don't know why I'm saying that. That means we're probably going to find it. Nope, we found this, a Pale Underflesh. Now, the Pale Underflesh doesn't have any repercussions, thank goodness, but a crit would be awfully nice. Well, let's throw that one on the ground and try again. We got ourselves a 5 + 2 is 7, so that is enough to wound, but not enough for a critical. That would have been pretty sweet. So we are going to take this and put it into the wound stack. Before we continue, I think I was wrong because I forgot that they stand up after the monster's turn, and they didn't fall down during the monster's turn, so I believe everybody's supposed to be up instead of being knocked down. So I did give them back I gave him back 1 survival, and I gave her back 1 survival as well, because those were not supposed to be used to use encourage. I think they were supposed to be already standing after the monster's turn. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments below. And please, of course, check the pinned comments of the videos after we are done with the video and after I try to post it, because a lot of times I'll notice mistakes or people will be able to help me as we move forward. So I try to make these videos also great for learning, so please check any pinned comments for any rule errors once these are posted. So at this point, I am going to use her. She's going to move 1, 2. She's going to pick up her weapon because that was ridiculous. And then she'll continue 3, 4, 5 to right there. After that's done, I think I am going to use her survival to dash. She's going to dash. She gets a 6+, so she does get the survival back. And she's going to go 1, 2, 3 to right here and try to hit that crocodile. The Founding Stone does put us at a 7+, and we got a 1 and a 2. We have failed. The only person left to go is Rand. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3 to right there. I guess he's going to attack from there because he can't get to the blind side because he is in the way. The bad thing about being there is we know this guy likes to roly-poly all over the place. I need a 7+ from where I'm standing, and I did get a perfect hit. Now that does not help him at all, but we're going to at least get to hit one location. Let's see what we got. We have got the Pale Fin. There is a reflex that we're going to have to deal with after we make this roll. We got a 4 + 1 is 5, so no matter what, this thing is going to happen because it's a reflex, even though I didn't wound him. I don't like to wound him. It says the monster flips upside down and glides on its wiggling fingers. Move 2 spaces forward, then cranes its neck to wink at the attacker who suffers monster level +1 brain damage. Okay, that's amazing. So how this is going to work is he's going to move forward, and these people are going to get knocked back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there, and I believe they're also knocked down. He's going to move forward 1, 2 to right here. He's going to wink, and this person is going to take 2 damage against the insanity because brain damage is what works against insanity. Lucky for us, Rand has 3 insanity, so he is down to 1. Having resolved everything, now it's going to be the monster's turn, but this is where I need to decide. Do I want to use any survival moving forward? It'll be something we'll have to decide once we see the AI card, because there'll probably be a chance for us to do that. Let's draw our next card and see what we have found. We have found ourselves Barbed Tail Whip, closes threat in range, and then we have a survival action here. Now, of course, he will have already chosen his target, so sadly, I should have probably done it after the attack if I could have. But oh well, let's see what happens. We are going to the closest threat in range. So that would be our character over here. So he is going to turn and move, so he is right there, but he is going to then make sure that he is in the right spot. So I'm actually going to turn and have him here. He still would have enough movement to get there, and then it says here after he hits, it's going to hit all of this around him, which nobody else is there, and he has a speed of 2, 3, accuracy, and 1 damage, and after damage it says he's going to take a bleed token and knock back 5. I do not have Lost Tail as one of my repercussions for beating him up real good. He has a speed of 2. He's going to roll him up. He needs a 3+. He hit us both times. That's absolutely terrible. We're going to roll to see where he hit us, in the body and then in the legs. I chose to use a survival to dodge the body shot, but we are going to take a heavy wound to the legs, so we are going to be knocked down. We're also going to take knockback 5, and I get a bleeding token. We're going to send Rand flying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here and knocked down. With that done, we do get to stand everybody up, which is going to be nice. We do not get to stand this character up from how I understand. If I remember right, the monster's one that knocked him down. He didn't get knocked down before the monster's turn. So he has to wait until the next monster activation, unless, of course, we want to encourage him. But before we do anything, we're just going to run up here and hit him right in the blind spot with our giant Crockborn hammer. I hope our Crockborn hammer does well. I need a 7+, but -1 is a 6+. I hit 1 time. That's totally fine. We're going to see what location we hit. We hit the bristling hip wrinkles. So I'm going to roll a die and see how we do on this particular one here. I got a 7 + 2 is 9. That is a wound. I'm going to take the top card and put it in our wound stack. We're down to 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds and our basic, 4 AI cards and our basic card left. He is going to do the wound thing where I am going to grab the bottom card from this deck and place it on top of the hit location deck, which is going to be the front of him again, which is kind of good because the other people are coming in from that side. Here's where we stand. Like I said, we have 1 here and 3 in here. On top of that, we have our new thing on top. I'll put this one into the box. We've archived that card. Now, one thing I do want to mention is, of course, after my big long spiel about super dense locations, I am, of course, 100% wrong. Super dense mean that if you have a frail weapon, you break it. Impervious means you cannot damage location. So I have to I have to remember to get all my keywords right. It's been a while. I apologize. So just remember that the super dense location, I probably put a subtitle when I talked about super dense location, you can still wound, you can't, but if it's a frail weapon, it is destroyed. Where I know because I have my club here, this one is not frail, and this does get +4 strength when attempting to wound a super dense location. Because if I said you can't wound it, then of course that'd be almost worthless. It's impervious locations you cannot wound. Of course, here's our wound stack. We've done a pretty good job on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6 wounds already. But we have a card right here that we need to hit next. And there's only one person that can make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through the pool of blood right up to him and attacks. And my Founding Stone needs a 7+ because I am not in any type of blind spot. I do get one hit, which is exactly what I wanted, to be able to hit this location right here. We have hit ourselves the Sparkling Eyelid. It states right here, of course, if that's not the location, then you have to auto miss. But a failure says full move the monster away from the attacker and turn to face them. The monster looks at you with irises swirling in opposite directions. The blood from your limbs rushes to your brain. Suffer the frenzy brain trauma. Of course, that is if I fail. But we're not going to fail. We're going to crit him. Oh, we got a 6. But wait, that is +1 from my strength, so it's a 7. That is enough to hit him. So we were able to hit this or wound this person. Otherwise, it would have been mass chaos. She would have gotten a frenzy brain trauma. This person can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and is just out of way. Remember, everything in this game is orthogonal. I cannot attack diagonal unless I had a reach 2 weapon. I could use a survival to dash. Let's do it. We're going to dash. We're going to dash. Oh, I lose the survival. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go back here and we're going to attack from behind. I have my Founding Stone. I need a 6+. I got one hit right there. Let's see what we were able to hit. We hit the Blushing Brow. We'll see if we were able to wound this location. I got a 9, so that is enough to wound it. So we're going to put another coagulated thing on top of the deck. With no more AI cards, we're going to give these a good old truffle shuffle here, just like that. Mix them up real good. Put one over here. Put those two back. Put this in the archive and grab another one of these and put it on top of the deck. Let's hit him in the front again. In order to hit him in the front, I have to dash with that character in front and probably dash with my scout in order to get in there and hit this location. Or I can call our turn pretty much done and see what the crocodile is going to do, which probably is my best solution. Though, of course, remember, our scout hasn't done anything, but I think I'm going to leave the scout right where she is. We're doing okay against this crocodile. Now, I'm a little worried about who is sitting in front of this crocodile. This could usually be a very bad thing, but who knows? We shall see how this all transpires. I'm going to draw my next AI card and see what we have found. It says Barbed Tail Whip. This is terrible. It is going to attack the closest threat in range, and it's just going to stay right there. Its closest threat is already right here. It's going to hit there and spin all the way around the board to right here. It is not going to attack her. She's actually out of the range of this particular attack because it sits like this. It targets that spot, and it's going to go all the way around. So the two people are going to be hit. Now, I do have a dash opportunity, but I think we're going to be okay. I'm just basically going to get a couple of bleeding token and knockback 5, which isn't the end of the world. And I am going to be taking speed 2, 3 accuracy attacks for 1 damage. It's only 1 damage. I think we'll be okay. Another thing that's going to be interesting is I can at least show how this is going to work. Move and synchronic attack. So this is going to attack both those people. You only roll the dice once and you compare it to everything. Once these dice are rolled, the survivors can do whatever they can to try to get out of the way of this. So we'll roll and see how it goes. I got a 2 and a perfect hit. So let's see where these hit our people. Actually, you know what? I don't think it really matters. I'm going to just roll, and it got the hands. I'm going to dodge both of that with both our characters. That's the end of the monster turn. I am going to stand this character back up. Rand is back in action, and he isn't going to go right away. I'm going to attack with this person first. Elaine is going to go. Now, she has no survival. Rand also has no survival. Gwen is down to 2 survival, but Perrin is actually doing really good. He's got plenty. He's doing fantastic. Oh, actually, I lied. He's got 2. Rand has 1. I've got these 2 mixed up when that attack happened. He should have lost 1, so he is down to 2 survival. And Rand has 1 survival because I actually erased the one on the wrong character. This is Rand back here. Let's make our attack. I'm going to start here because we have that location sitting on top of our deck, so it has to be the very front-facing thing, which is exactly where she is. I need a 7+ in order to hit. I did get 1 7+. Oh my gosh, got super lucky. We're going to see what this particular location has for us. It says gain +3 strength to wound this location. Don't mind if I do. Let's roll up our die and see what we get. Oh no, a 2 + 3 is 5 + 1 is 6. That's not enough. We failed. So it says here as a failure, the monster hisses, fingers drumming rapidly, perform a basic action targeting the attacker. Now at this point, I can't use survival because this is my turn right now. So the basic action for this particular creature is this right here. It has 2 speed, 3, and it has 2 damage. So let's roll up what the monster is going to do. It did get both hit. hits. So it's going to do 2 damage to 2 different locations. It got the waist and the body. And then at the end it says, if you are terrified, you are devoured, whole, dead. Everything on there is bad. But that's not going to happen because our guy is not frightened or terrified, which is great. And remember, the pick target doesn't happen because this is a reaction to what just happened. So I'm going to take 2 damage to my body and my waist. And this is where things get sticky. I'm going to take 2 damage to my waist, which is going to knock me down. And then I'm going to have to suffer 2 to the body. I've already taken 1, so I'm going to take 1. And now I have to roll on the evil vial table of death. Let's roll it up and see what we get. We got a 7. 7's not too bad. I got a ruptured spleen, a vicious body blow, skip the next hunt, and gain 2 bleeding tokens. So she now has 2 bleeding tokens, and she cannot join the next hunt. I have checked our skip the next hunt box, and there's our 2 bleeding tokens. Oh, that was not good. We're going to have Perrin go next. He's sitting right in this blind spot. He is going to attack. Using our Crockborn Club, I need a 6+ in order to hit. Oh, that's 2 hits. That's fantastic. I love 2 hits. Let's see what we're able to hit here. Let's get the dice out of the way. The first location is going to be our bushing burly hind leg, and then our second location is the salted snout. Now the salted snout, there it is a super dense location, so I get +4 when attempting to wound this location. So we're going to try to wound that one first. I think that's my best bet. I got a critical. Why not? Because criticals are awesome. Let's see what it says here. It says your weapon grinds against the stones on the monster's back, restoring it gain +1 strength token and regen any of that weapon's lost honed benefits. Honed is something you can have on some of your weapons. I don't have that yet on any weapon, and so I don't have to worry about that. But I do get, what is it, +1 strength token. Now, it's not a permanent token, it's just +1 strength, and I do a damage to him, so we're going to remove another AI card from the deck, leaving him with only 1 left, and then, of course, his basic action, which could potentially be right here. I might be able to wound this and put him onto his basic action. Let's see how this goes. We got a 9. There's another wound. So all the AI cards have been removed from the deck. We are now moving into our basic action. All we have to do is hit him 1 more time, and I do get a strength token as well. But from where we are, I'm just hopefully going to go for the killing blow. We have Egwene right where I need her in the back. So she, oh, by the way, I am going to move our character 1 space, and I'll show that later if this does not succeed. I got a 7. That is 1 hit. We'll check what hit location we're able to hit. We are hitting the bushing lower jaw. We'll roll it up. I got a 5 + 1 is a 6, so that is not enough to damage him. So instead he's going to do all this roly-poly stuff, and it's going to be awesome. First off, I did move him 1 space this way, thinking I might need to get Rand in here, but that is not the case. He is going to roly-poly all over the place because I failed. So from where he is here. He is going to move in this direction this way. So let's move him. He is going to roll right here and end up right there, which is terrible. There's not much. I don't think I can get to him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can. Rand can get to him. He is going to run all the way down there using his dash. So he is not, now he has no survival at all. He has absolutely no survival. Oh, apparently he has +1 accuracy that I've totally forgot this entire game. We are attacking with our founding stone. I need a 6+ because I'm in the blind spot. I actually need a 5+ because apparently he has +1 accuracy, which I have totally been forgetting this entire game. He has hit 1 location. Let's see which one he hit. He hit the, oh, here's the impervious location. This is the one I can't actually damage, but I can crit. This is what the one I actually made the mistake on last time. I got a 9. I don't have any luck, so I didn't crit it, and I don't do any damage because it is impervious. This is the one I cannot damage, is the impervious location, not super dense locations. I know I misspoke about that earlier. I apologize. But I could still do the critical, but it still wouldn't do a wound from how I understand it. What I thought would be the end of the fight sadly has not, and I am now going to do the basic action targeting. Well, my first thing is targeting a terrified threat in range, but there isn't any. So he's just going to go for the closest survivor, which is Rand. Rand is about to get bit, and it's going to be very bad. His basic action uses 2 speed, and it does, it got a perfect hit, and a 4. That's going to hit both things. I don't have any survival to dodge any of this. I got hit in the legs and the body. Rand didn't like any of that. He's going to take, well, he's going to get knocked down regardless because the legs are always going to take critical wounds to the leg and to the body. Let's roll him up. The red die is going to be his leg die. Let's see how this goes. I got an 8, and the body is going to be a 9. He has a broken leg, an ear-shattering crunch. Adjacent survivors suffer 1 brain damage, suffer -1 permanent movement. This injury is permanent and can be recorded twice. Gain 1 bleeding token. Now, I don't have, there's nobody adjacent, so I don't have to worry about the brain damage. I am going to suffer the bleeding token, and I'm going to get the -1 permanent movement. Now, remember last time I did speed, and I thought that was movement. It's not. Movement is its own stat. Speed is how many times you attack. So this is going to cost me 1 movement. The body is a collapsed lung. You can't catch your breath. I gain -1 movement token. So he's super fast, and he gains 1 bleeding token. He gets 2 more bleeding tokens, and he gets -1 movement. So he is down to, I'm just going to put -1 right there and put a 4. See if I can write over that 5. And then, of course, I will mark down on his leg that he has a broken leg, as he can record that twice. I do get a -1 movement token, meaning his movement is now only 3. And now these tokens matter because I think some of the targeting has to do with how many tokens a person has. We'll stand up our character right here and move into our turn. I think I'm just going to smack this guy. Maybe I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, I can't get in his blind spot from where I am. So hopefully that's enough to try to take him down. And who am I kidding? Rand can't go that far. He's only got 3 speed because he lost all that movement. Sorry, you got 3 movement. 1, 2, 3. That's not going to help very much. We know we don't want to be in Roly-Polyville here. He's going to get smacked around. So let's just see if we can get him from that exact spot right there. I've got a founding stone. We just need a 7+. We did get 1 7. We'll check our hit location. Hopefully it's enough to take him down. Oh no. Oh no, you got the trap. Oh, this trap is going to be probably totally terrible. It says right here, all survivors are doomed. The monster's many fingers gesture in a hypnotic wave. The attacker gains the terrified survivor status card. Not good. The monster accelerates your heart rate. Gain the death count survivor status as well. If you already have it, place a death count token on the card. The monster giggles full moves away from all survivors, then turns to face the attacker. Oh my goodness. So from where this guy is, he's going to full move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe back over there. That's my guess, as far away from the survivors as possible, and I'm going to gain all these little statuses. So here we are terrified yet again, which is awesome. He can at least get rid of this because he does have the insanity to do it, but we also have this now, death count. It states right here, at the end of each round, gain +1 survival and place a death count token on this card. You may surge an additional time each round for each token on this card, so that will help quite a bit. Sadly, I don't have surge. It says here, when there are 5+ tokens on this card, your heart bursts, killing you instantly. Oh boy, terrible city. That is no good. That's bad news city. I do have 3 movement. He's going to move 1, 2, 3 away from the guy. Because we drew that trap, we now have to give our deck a good old little truffle shuffle here so that we don't know what is on top, and we'll place it back on my hit location deck. And then I need to hit this guy. I need to hit this guy 1 time and wound it. And believe it or not, that is actually our best chance right here. I'm going to dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have anything to hit him with except for my fists and teeth, so we'll see how this goes. Fist and Tooth need an 8+ in order to hit with 2 speed. Now I'm in the blind spot, so I get 7+. We hit twice. Wow, okay, that's absolutely amazing. So we're going to grab 2 hit location cards and see what we got. We've got the Pale Colia. Oh, I remember this one. All right. And then we also have the Pale Fin base that has a reflex. Let's not do that one. Let's go for this one first and see if we're able to wound this monster. I need a pretty high number here. I got a 6 plus nothing. I don't think I get any strength bonus for my Fist and Tooth. That is correct. So that is a miss. There is no ill effect when I miss that hit location. The next one is this one. I need to get like a 7+ on this. Oh my gosh. Let's see if we can do it. We got the 7+. So that's enough to take this guy down. He only had his basic action left, so he is expired. We were able to take down another Crimson Crocodile. Sadly, there was some things that went wrong with us. Rand isn't the fastest person anymore, but that's okay. We did get these 2 resources, and then on top of that, we are going to grab 4 more basic resources. We're going to give this a good old truffle shuffle and see what we get. I'll take that one, this one, and that one. There we go. We got 4 resources here. Let's see what 4 basic ones we have. We got some love juice. All right. That allows us to help with intimacy. Then we also have a monster organ. We have monster organ and a monster. We got lots of organs. we got 4 organs pretty much, because the love juice is also considered a consumable organ as well, which means we could probably get rid of our hunger too and see what goes on. I also get 5 of these resources as well. I was really hoping for some bones and hides, but that's okay. We'll take that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and how about this one right there? 5. We got 5 resources from killing the crimson crocodile. We get a veined glass. We also have a crimson bone. We have pale fingers. We have a tiny ear, and we have pale flesh. None of those are going to give us any particular advancements, except for the love juice is the only thing that has something on it. It allows us to perform the intimacy story event, which we probably will take advantage of. We do have all these awesome resources. Let me know in the comments what you think we should maybe try for, and we'll see what we can do. So there you have it. We were able to take down the crimson crocodile. It's still super fun. And we got our death count going on, but thank goodness that didn't really come to fruition. Of course, we are going to be gaining some really cool things. We'll be gaining an experience point. We'll also be gaining points towards weapon proficiencies and everything else like that. We're going to do all that in the next video, even though you're supposed to be doing that in the aftermath section of this. But this video usually is long enough to encompass the fight, and then I do all the other stuff in our settlement phase that will be coming up after this video very soon. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the playthrough of Kingdom Death Monster: The Gambler's Chest. We were playing the Dream Keeper expansion, or it's not, I guess campaign is what you should call it, and I'm excited to continue going. We have our scout here. Hopefully we'll have the miniature painted up and built for the next mission. We'll see how that goes. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when more content comes out for Kingdom Death Monster. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, please feel free to join the Patreon. The link to that is also in the description of this video. Some of the people that have supported me are located here on the screen. Thank you so much for your patronage. It means the world to me. It's super fun to see everybody there. Also, the people that do join the Patreon get some perks. One of the perks is you get to see my playthrough videos usually about a day or two ahead without any commercial interruptions. On top of that, moving forward in games, I have them help me decide what we're going to do moving forward. For example, I might have them help decide how we're going to kit out some of these survivors as we move into the next part of the game, the settlement, and then the next hunt. And don't forget, if you're interested in seeing live content, Colin and I play a live game usually about every Tuesday, and I try to do some live painting videos as well. Maybe we'll get back to painting some Kingdom Death this week. We shall see how that all transpires. Again, thank you so much for watching, and if you're excited to see Kingdom Death Monster or anything else, then I need you to meet me at the table.